Okay guys, what is going on? For today's video, I have a fly tying tutorial. I like fly fishing a lot. It's really fun. I do it for smallmouth bass, steelhead, and other fish species. Like, you can almost do it for everything. I have a 5/6 weight rod, so steelhead, if like you know what fly fishing, know some stuff about it, you usually want maybe like a more 7, and for like salmon an 8, but I just do use my 5/6. It makes the fight pretty fun. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing a generic minnow fly imitation. That's the word. What you'll need: crystal chenille, hook. Any streamer hook works. This one's not super big, but it's pretty long. White thread. I don't even know what these are called, but well, you guys can see that, like an egg, like represents the eyes and eye weight. And usually you would use white marabou, like to represent the tail, but I just realized I'm actually out of it, so I'll do a makeshift tail with hackle. First, oh yeah, I will also, for assistance at the end, rather than just a whip finish, I have Solar Easy UV Cure. And that just reminds me, for tools, you will, if you can do it with your hands, that's great. If you cannot, you'll need this tool right here, a whip finish, and clippers, which actually none are around. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Clippers. And that is what you'll need to make this fly. So start any fly normally. Bam. Get your hook in, and you might have to adjust for the hook. This hook's a lot thicker, so I just had to loosen it so I can clamp it down a little more. And then I like to wrap down a little white thread before I put on the eye weight, because that will be the first thing that gets put on. The correct term for it. So bam, just lay down a little thread. Now is when I usually snip this off. Bam. Next, take your little weight. You're going to want to tie this down. And you don't want it directly at the top by the eye. You want to leave a little bit of space. Just as you can see, it's not right up against it. There's a little bit of space in between. I don't know why. I know that's what you're supposed to do. I think it helps with like tying down and just how it looks in total. It gives you more room. So then you just wrap this on. Now this will take a while, and just thread this over and over and over until it's 100% stable and secured, going straight with the hook. So I'll see you guys when this part is completed. Like Solar Easy, or if you have any other adhesive right in between like the eyes and a little bit down, it will actually like get totally weaved in when you thread it on, and then you can just use your UV light. That will really secure it. That's what I found, and I found this helps a lot compared to just normally threading it without the UV solution. Okay, the weight is properly secured on. The UV solution has been hardened. Now the rest of the fly. Next up, normally would be marabou. In this case, we have hackle. So you're going to want to work your thread to the back of the hook. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it to the back. You want to get it right to before the hook starts to bend right there. And you want to get a little before, like 2 millimeters before. And then now it's just pick what hackle you want to use. A lot easier. All these fuzzies down at the bottom, you just grab and totally pull off. And you want to do that probably, as you can see here, how much exactly I've taken off. You want to do that to both sides and make sure they're even. And that'll just make tying it down a lot easier, because all that hackle before is needed waste. So now here's what you're left with. And then it's just, you don't want to put it on the side. Be crazy long. In some cases, depending on what you're going for, you will want it super long, but this is more of a smallmouth bass fly. That's what I seem to find it to work the best on, smallmouth bass. And then this works super well. So now, I'm just going to get another piece of hackle, do the exact same thing. Get it to how you want it. And then tie this one in. And finally, I'm going to take one. So both of those are going at like a side angle. As you can see, there's like a little split. So now I'm going to get one more piece of hackle. And this will just be like a lay down over the top of it all. And tie that in. Whoops, drop the hackle. These end little pieces of hackle, just clip those. Okay. Next up, for the final thing you need, is the crystal chenille. This will represent the body. This is what gives it all the flash in the water. Really attracts fish to strike. You need a piece, not crazy long. Tie it down at the back, all the way to where the start of the hackle is. Now just bring your line all the way up, back to the front, but keeping it behind the weight, not pushing it out in front. So now, just wrap this chenille going forward, just next to each other over and over. Just keep wrapping it. So you get all the way back to the start. Now wrap over it a few times to really clamp it down. And all of this is still staying behind the weight. You'll never go back over the weight again now that you're this far. Clippers are not super good. Oh my gosh, these clippers are terrible. Finally, a few more securing wraps. Now, you want to pull out your handy dandy whip finisher. If you don't know how to use this, there are plenty of tutorials online. And bam. Whip finish one. I always just do two. with about 4 to 6 spins on each one. We'll finish that. And just clip the extra little line. And then there's a little UV residue from earlier that was still on the back side of it. Now you can just secure that completely. Make sure it's all hardened. Okay, and there you go. There's your little minnow. This thing can run, jump, skip across the water while looking very nice. This Chanel makes it flash a lot, and the weight, you'll be able to sink fast like that with a good motion, almost like a jig. For a trick, you can just get a permanent marker or anything and just draw little dots on the weight for eyes. And just tie it on, go out for smallmouth bass. This will catch lots of them, especially if they're feeding on shad. This is a great, this represents a shad really, really well, or little minnows, like, especially in creeks and rivers, streams. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you found it helpful. Not a hard fly, very, very easy, doesn't require much, just a little minnow. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe.